All right, so ankle cars. These are also a relatively straightforward or expected movement. We're going to do some ankle circles. I'm going to try to really slow it down. So a lot of us have probably done ankle circles in various fitness programs. Slowing it down is going to really ask a little bit more control and really try to eke out every little degree of movement that I can access in that ankle. In this case, I do not want my tibia to participate a ton. So I don't want to feel a ton of that movement in the shin. I want to isolate the movement in my ankle. So I'm going to kind of take this sort of position here so that I am holding my leg up and I have that top hand feeling what's happening at my knee. If this isn't comfortable, that's fine. You can do this. I often do this with clients just sitting in a chair and just kind of holding and feeling that for unwanted hip, knee, and kind of shin participation. So take a comfortable position for yourself, and then you're gonna pull the foot up as close to your shin as possible, squeezing with those muscles in the front of the shin that cross the front of the ankle, those dorsiflexors, and then try to keep your foot pulled as high as possible as you start to rotate. I'm gonna go inward first, and then as I move out to the side, I'm gonna start to extend or point. This is actually plantar flexion. Sweeping it down through a pointed toe, sweeping it up out to the side, and trying again to move slowly and chase as many degrees of motion that you can get to. I've noticed that this slower ankle car movement often produces foot and calf cramps in folks. We don't really want to torture you with cramps, but often it's a cramp at a specific position or degree of motion, and then as we move through it, it eases up. And that's most likely happening because we're asking your muscles to create a bit of force in each of these shapes. And some of these shapes are positions that we certainly don't train. We're likely to find ourselves in them when we're moving around, especially on uneven terrain and playing sports and whatnot. But we don't usually work on kind of building control and stability, say in like a position like this, where my foot is plantar flexed or pointed and that ankle is rolling inward. So don't be deterred if you feel a little discomfort or kind of muscle cramping as you explore those ranges of motion. Definitely don't persist if that's a really intense cramp that doesn't just ease up as you move into a new range of motion. But part of the reason we do get cramps in specific positions is often because those muscles just aren't familiar with creating force in those positions. So the cramp is actually a sign that maybe we want to actually get our bodies a little more comfortable with controlling that shape or that position. So dance that dance. Don't torture yourself with cramps, but also don't be alarmed if it feels a little crampy for a moment in that range of motion. All right, so those are ankle cars. I usually do about 2 or 3 in one direction, 2 or 3 in the other direction, and obviously both